So just a little overview about the program. The BDC invests $50,000 annually to fund the program. So that just goes to Dominican staff. Each student has a mentor assigned to them. So that goes to them and their curriculum, as well as at the end of the program, if the internship successfully completes the program, then they also get a stipend. Um, for us, the BDC is kind of just in charge of selecting the businesses and working with you guys to make sure that you guys get the most out of the program. And then Dominican kind of just focuses on the intern. They select the interns, they create the curriculum, and they manage the students' productivity. So just jumping into the 8 weeks. So the program is a total of 8 weeks, 4 weeks website, and then 4 weeks social media. We'll talk about it a little later, but that is like changeable depending on what your business needs. So if you need more time on website, you're able to do 6 weeks website and then 2 weeks social media, or vice versa. You do have to hit both though. The internship program is required for these students to graduate and they need a deliverable for both. So even if you think you have maybe a great social media and you really want to focus on website, you still will have to hit social media for at least 2 weeks. So the kickoff meeting, this is just a tentative schedule. The kickoff meeting would be March 11th, and then the end of the year celebration would be April 30th. The kickoff is when you'll get to meet your intern and kind of swap notes for the first time, and kind of see how you guys want to tackle the program. Just looking at this again, I'll send the slides out to you guys so you don't have to write anything down. But if you are selected and you know that you'll be out of town for a week or whatever, just being proactive and telling your intern ahead of time so that you guys can work accordingly, because 8 weeks goes by super fast. So if you're gone for a week, still providing information to your intern would be really useful instead of not having that week at all. Two documents that will be important if you are selected. One will be the client information form. So I'll pull that up. So this will be what you would fill out, just a little bit about your business and kind of the days you're available to meet. This will be given to the intern so that you guys can just work off that when you guys are first meeting. One thing that's really important is to have your goals and have them be super, super specific. Again, 8 weeks goes by super fast. So if you guys are kind of jumping into it and don't know where to start, you'll kind of be losing valuable time. To give an example, kind of I don't want to say bad goal, but a not very helpful goal. What if you were to just write new design? Because what does that mean? Now you guys are wasting time kind of deciding where do you want the new design, what does this mean, etc. So a good specific goal would be redesign the homepage to improve navigation, and include a call to action for booking services. That's like a really good place for you guys to start, and then you guys can kind of break down how you want that to look. So then the next sheet is the business snapshot, which is just a little bit more specific about your business. So this again will be given to your intern. And this is kind of what they'll use. This is what Dominican will use to match you with your intern. So every intern kind of has different like expertise and stuff, I'd say. So again, like the more specific you can get with this, the better your intern will kind of match what you're looking for, I would say. And one thing that's really helpful is just the more information that you have up front, the more you'll be able to get done. So if you are selected and you do get to participate in the program, I would start kind of thinking about the things you want. Start gathering photos, start gathering like articles. If you know you want to change your About Us page, like start rewriting that. Your intern can obviously help you with that. But just already having that, the more you have up front, the more you guys will be able to work on throughout the 8 weeks. And then, so the 8 weeks will be broken down again. Traditionally, it'll be 4 weeks website, 4 weeks social media. It can go two ways. So if you have a website already, week one, again, it'll be the kickoff meeting. You'll meet your intern. Your intern will be doing research about your business. So you guys will kind of swap notes and kind of see how you guys want to tackle the rest of the program. Week two, your student will take what you guys said and kind of start drafting things. If you guys wanted new navigational buttons, for example, they'll start putting that into place and kind of going over that. That same week, you guys will you'll be able to look over that and say yes, 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 no, no, no. Week three, you'll continue edits. And week four, they'll do edits, any last minute touches, and then that's when they would submit your website. So this is an example of someone who was in the program last semester. This top page was their original landing page. Then this bottom one was the new landing page that the intern created. Just to go on their website, I'll just briefly scroll through. One thing that the intern found from this website is that they have, or even just meeting with the businesses, they have really yummy looking food that anyone would think is delicious, but it wasn't being shown on their website. So they really wanted to go in there and take new photos, or even the photos that they already had, but just kind of reworking it so that's being showcased more on their website. So again, this is an example of a website that already existed, but they were just adding photos. I think they changed some copy, things like that. And then if you don't have a website, it'll be pretty similar. But week one, you'll discuss your business and your target consumer, and kind of what you're looking for in a website. And then the student will choose a Wix layout. They'll provide you with maybe 5 or something that they think would be good. Week two, you'll approve the Wix template, and you'll start working on the website. And then week 3 and 4 again will be the same. They'll do any edits. Week 4 will be the last minute edits, and then it will be turned into you. This is an example of a brand new website a student created last semester. Let's see. So if you do need a new website, you'll get a Wix website. So this is a Wix website that a student created from scratch. And then they have their socials linked and everything. And then moving on to social media. Again, if you have an existing social media, that first week will be discussing your business, your target audience, what you currently do, what's working, what's not working, where you want to see changes. The following week, your student will give recommendations and you'll approve them, make any suggestions or changes, and they'll start executing. And then week 7 and 8, again, continue editing. This is an example of someone in a previous semester, what they were able to do. So like this 23 questions they created, this little testimonial graphic, and kind of making it more of a cohesive looking page and a little more aesthetic. And then again, same thing. I know it's a little redundant, but if you don't have a social media, you'll go through kind of what your business's current tactics are through website that you want to implement on social media, kind of the channels you want, and then you'll provide your student with any photos and videos that you want on your page. They'll give you the recommendations and they'll kind of give you like a little mood board of the vibe of your channels that you're looking for, and then you can approve, and you can kind of go through that. And then again, week 7 and 8 will be actually executing those changes. And by week 8, you'll have a content calendar. So at the bottom, that's an example of a content calendar that a student made in previous years. This will kind of be based on business to business. So depending on what you need is what your student can give you. We want you guys to get the most out of this program. So if something like this isn't useful to you guys, that's not what yours has to look like. if maybe you guys need more of like little graphic borders that you can just drop in your own photos whenever, then they can create maybe 3 little templates that's customizable. Or if what you need is like several different caption ideas, if you guys are having events or an open house or whatever, that you guys can kind of customize to the different events, but having a basic template. So that'll be something you'll talk about with your intern, depending on what you need. And then moving on to the business expectations. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. So number one would be weekly engagement. So the most successful businesses and internships I've seen is when they meet at the same time each week, just every day or every week, Monday through PM. That's when we meet, and then they have the rest of the week to do the changes. There are benefits to meeting in person. For example, if you have a restaurant and your student is creating social media captions, for them to really go to your restaurant and kind of get the vibe of what they're trying to put out on social media, that's really beneficial, but it isn't required. So some students do live far, and they are students, so maybe they're just busy. But if you can, I would recommend at least once having them in your space. And then usually I found that they meet for about an hour. Obviously, some weeks are different when it's getting down to the end. Meetings may be longer, but usually it's around like an hour or so. And then two would just be an open line of communication. Again, you'll get out of this internship what you put in, so it's really important to just be in communication with your intern. Again, they need this internship to graduate, so we've kind of said about 2 days getting back to them. um, Usually it's quicker than that, but that should kind of be your expectation. We will have businesses on the waiting list, so if communication is a problem, and you're not getting back to your intern in a timely manner, we unfortunately would have to switch you out with one of the businesses that are on kind of our queue. Three would be biweekly meetings with the BDC staff, which would be me. So every other week we'll just meet. It's usually never 30 minutes, but we just allow that time, just to discuss any issues that you're having with your intern, things that are going well, if you guys are hitting your goals, things like that. I have an open communication with Dominican, so anything that might be brought up about your intern, that you need addressed, I can talk to Dominican about that. And then again, they have a mentor, each intern, so that'll get told to their intern, and their intern will kind of talk to them. Yeah. And then lastly, we kind of already talked about it, but information gathering. So you will be required to provide photos, articles, videos that the student may ask for. Again, it'll be a lot easier if you have all this up front. Depends on kind of how you guys want to do it, but if you had like a Google Drive that you started, and just added photos and everything like that, and then your intern has a link to that, or you guys use Dropbox, whatever it is, we found the most success that if they provide if you guys provide like the photos during your meeting throughout the week, and then they'll be able to just use that and work through it throughout the week. And then for intern responsibilities, meeting with you guys on specific business needs, creating your web page. They again will also have an open line of communication. So again, if you're not hearing back from them within 2 days, feel free to reach out to me, and then I'll reach out to Dominican. Things that your intern cannot do is they won't do manual labor. They can't work in your store. They can't cover the cash register. It's strictly social media and website. And with that, even they can't really. It's not really realistic to expect them to do like 10 new pages on your website. Again, 8 weeks goes by really fast. So again, that's where the specific goals comes in. And then by the end of the internship as a business, you'll be getting a digital marketing calendar. Again, that'll be specific to your business and what you need. One really good thing about this internship is not only are you getting Not only are you getting new social media, new websites, but you're also getting an educational part of it. So if that's something that you struggle with and you're not as tech savvy, they're going to be there to like hold your hand and kind of show you how to make these changes once the internship ends. And then if you do get a brand new website, we will give you a $325 reimbursement, which I think covers 1 year of, I believe the top like the top Wix website platform. And then as an intern, they will be getting experience working with you guys, platform analysis and consultant experience when they do research about your business beforehand, strengthening both their hard and soft skills to build a resume. And like I mentioned earlier, they will get a little stipend at the end of the program if they finish successfully. So now I will have, I believe Angel is on the call. He was a student last semester, and we also have Bobby. If you guys want to just introduce yourself, and then we can kind of go through your experience. Bobby, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Favi. I work for Cortina Heating and Cooling. I usually do marketing, front desk work, kind of more outreach. And I just, when we took in, when Angel came in and helped us out, we had a website and we had some social media presence, but Angel was a really great help.
And then Angel, if you want to introduce yourself really quick, and you can maybe say your year in school.
Hi, yeah. So I'm Angel. I'm actually from Cicero, so not basically not too far from Berwyn. I'm a journalism major, but I also have some experience with social media and graphic design. And then I was helping Fabiola and Cortina this past semester with their business.
Sweet, thank you. So these are some photos from Cortina's old website. Fabi, can you kind of walk us through some of your main goals that you wanted to address um, with Angel?
So the first thing we wanted a new refresh. So it was a good design. It had some aspects we liked, but it was a little harder to manage with so many sections and there was no gallery, which was what we realized kind of made it more hectic to be switching pictures around, and it just kind of became more of a hassle, I guess, to fix and edit each picture individually. And a lot of it was also, if you look at it from the reader's perspective or the customer, I guess, it was very hard to read. So it wasn't as inviting. And because of the color contrast, it wasn't as readable. So we wanted to make it a welcoming website and easy to read for any customers.
And then Angel, for you as a student, when you were doing research on their website beforehand, what were the things that stood out for you, and kind of what were your key things that you wanted to bring to Fabiola's attention?
Yeah, I think she mentioned some of them kind of just as the I guess the consumer, like what's that kind of like consumer or like user usability or readability from the website. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something like we tackled. And there were some key things that we wanted to keep. So just kind of combining like what your business wants to keep and kind of like what the intern their ideas bring in. And I think that's really what worked for me and Fabiola. But I think also getting down like the colors and stuff and the logo placement, that also made it come together as well.
Thanks. And then, so during your initial meeting, when you were swapping notes, how did you guys decide on your priorities and kind of how you wanted to attack the 8 weeks?
So we started a website first because it was a bigger overhaul, and it was a complete overhaul. So he drafted a new website and transferred it in. After the website, we kicked off the templates for social media because social media is a little more under my control already. It's just kind of tying it together to be less, I guess, chaotic because it wasn't really like based on rules. It was just kind of posting different color schemes. But the website really was the one that needed a lot of help and pages and a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able to do regardless anyways. But the social media did get a boost in being able to be scheduled and planned a little more organized.
Awesome. Angel, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think kind of just like the website is just more of like a like hands-on. It's kind of like time consuming. I think it's like cool to for the business owners to know that like the student can like build like their own website and then transfer it to like the web address. So that way if they're like nervous about like the student um editing or like created a new site from from the website that's already live, like it won't mess it up. Like you can just start a new one and then you can always just transfer the website onto the live one already. Yeah. Mm.
Awesome. And then we're going to take a look at their new website. So from your list of priorities in your initial meeting, how many things were you guys actually able to complete within the weeks that you guys worked? Were you guys able to hit everything? Were there things that kind of you didn't get to touch on?
Um, so the we got the most important stuff. So we got the website revamped. A lot of the pages that are like the main pages are in place. So the services and stuff got fixed up. And then if the any pages that are pending to be added would just be based on if we need them, like on specifics. But everything that was crucial to the current running of the website, the color scheme, as you can see, he kind of like darkened it so it's readable versus like having bright colors, and it just kind of it helped it make it readable. So when we do add another page, we kind of know what color scheme to follow and we know what works versus like the different colors to use.
Yeah. And then what was kind of a typical meeting like for you guys? How long did you guys meet, and what were the things that you like? What drove your guys' week? How did you guys break up each week?
So usually we would meet on Monday mornings, and then we kind of just go over what I did the week before, and then kind of the goals for the next week. And then sometimes like Thursday or Friday, I would just like kind of text Fabiola about like where I'm at with basically what I was working on, and then like what I'll have ready by Monday, so that way she also has an idea of like what we're gonna talk about and like what she can expect by like each Monday each week.
Awesome. And then a question for either of you, but if you guys could do the internship over again, what's one thing that you guys would have done differently?
I guess templates would be good, like kind of like how you were mentioning, like the possibly having like more, at least on my end, like a guide of like, especially for social media, like I know the rules, but like to to put it in place takes a lot more learning. It's a curve to do something you've been doing for so long and then be like, wait, you're doing it not wrong, but you got to do it a little more framed and stuff. So it takes a little bit more guidance, and a template ahead of time would have been good to be like, okay, here's what is the rule for marketing, here's what the intern's already gonna know. Because I wasn't gonna know, they're learning it, I'm not. So it would be a good thing to be like, okay, here's the rules, maybe contrast colors, kind of simple things that to someone else might be a little more like, oh, well, obviously, but it's like, well, no, it's a little bit of a learning curve when you're trying to learn like why you can't do something what that you think looks good. Not everything's gonna look good when you visualize it versus when it's presented.
Yeah. Angel, is there anything for you as the intern?
Yeah, I think I would say the same. The social media we maybe could have done a little bit more. Like the Thanksgiving week, kind of like it was like weird because we kind of didn't like meet. So I think if we had like that extra week or like a couple more days, we could have set up like a bit more for the social media like templates. But also I think if maybe if like they had like an idea of how the social media like kind of like templates or like brand kits, just stuff like that, that if the business already kind of has like idea with, like it will just like speed things up. And we worked at that, and I think we kind of got it down as you see with the website. But for the social media, it's like a little bit different. So that's like something that I would probably try to do better. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And then does anyone have any questions for them while they're still here? Well, that is pretty much it. This is just a list of the businesses that were a part of last year. If you guys want to see kind of what students were able to do, again, I'll send these slides out. But these are the 10 that were part of last year, so you can kind of see their website, their social media, and kind of what they were able to do in 8 weeks. I'll say that, yeah, Sophisticated was new, Weimer Machine was new, Believers was new, and then everything else was kind of an existing website that they made updates to. Does anyone have any questions overall about the program?
I have a couple questions. So, do the businesses have to have a Wix site, or can it be a different hosting site? So, for example, we use Sports Carnival at RY. So, would we need to create a new Wix website, or would the intern be able to work on the existing Sports Carnival website with a little guidance?
Good question. So yeah, if you're not creating a new website, you're totally fine to stay on whatever platform you have. If you are wanting to create the new website, it would be Wix because that's what we would cover. If you wanted to create a new website and use a different site, that's totally fine. But we would just cover Wix if that makes sense. But yeah, you're
Okay.
totally fine to stay on your platform.
Okay. And yeah, so we're kind of in a unique situation with our social media pages being down for years at this point already. I don't know if I mentioned it in passing, but a lot of Ys around the nation just got flagged for violating community guidelines, even though, you know, we're posting wholesome content. But that was just unfortunately fiasco with the new algorithm that Meta had going on. So a lot of us got our pages shut down. Some were able to come back, but a lot of us just like were told like, sorry. So we would pretty much need help rebuilding our entire social media presence, and I'm not sure what that would even look like because what if we get deactivated again? Like we tried creating a new page, so um, yes, we'd probably need new social media presence. But the good thing about the Y is there's a whole brand kit. They've got templates for social media out there already, even a calendar. Yeah, so we're kind of still, you know, the national Y has been kind of going back and forth with Meta trying to find answers. So um, who knows if our page will even pop back up or not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with social media. So yeah, but I know there's an option to create new pages.
Yeah. And that, yeah, that's really fine. And honestly, one thing that students have said is that they want to create new stuff. Like those are the ones that have been the most they've been the most excited for when they get to create a new website or get to create new channels. So that's totally fine. And obviously the goal would be that it doesn't get deactivated, but if as long as they're still like being able to build stuff and make posts and stuff like that, and they have that to show for it, if it does get deactivated, like that wouldn't hinder them, if that makes sense. Like you wouldn't be like out of the running because that might be a possibility.
Okay.
So yeah, that's fine. That's really fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Well, then I want to thank you guys again for joining. I will say that applications will close the 24th if you haven't applied yet. And then this week and next week, I'll kind of be following up with you guys, just asking any questions about your application. So if you were one of the businesses that might not have been as specific on the goals, just kind of be prepared because I'll call you and we'll kind of go through that and kind of set your goals, and then I'll update that in your application. So just kind of be thinking about some of those specific things that you would be looking for changes. And then you guys should get a answer if you guys were accepted the week of the 26th. So that's the last week of January. And then again, if you are selected, I would start pulling videos, pictures, copy, all that stuff, just to kind of get ahead of it. But yeah, I want to thank you guys again, and I hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
good
good
evening.
night.
Have a good evening, guys.
Good evening.